My name is Jack Harrison, and in this presentation I'm going to talk you through how external focuses can be used to improve swing playing in the golf swing. The golf swing is a rotational movement which is designed for maximum power and accuracy. The most important part of the swing are in fact the angles the body can create to get the desired ball flight. The most important angle the body can manipulate is what is called the club path. Now this is the horizontal movement in the impact zone. The majority of golfers will experience this because of A, how unnatural the golf swing is, and B, how easy it is for the body to swing in an unnatural movement. Golfers tend to either ignore this, which could end up in injury, or end up hitting it low and left constantly, which will see their handicap increase. Then they will likely to end up spend hours on the range, bashing balls with no thought, probably end up changing to something worse. The problem with instruction on this topic is that each person learns differently. All coaches have different ways of challenging the issue, not to mention average golfers probably try and fix it themselves and make it worse, and the general education of the swing in the average golfer is not very good. This middle image from Ben Hogan's book makes the golf swing look extremely intricate. However, you have to understand there is almost always a simple solution to any complicated problem. Now picture this. Rotating the upper body away from the lower body creates torque in the torso and an intense feeling of muscular tension, almost like pulling an elastic band. This is pictured in the left image and is called X factor. It is the most efficient way to create club head speed. However, the slow winding up and then the fast violent downswing result in many differences among different golfers because of very few have the strength or flexibility to produce such a proficient but repetitive swing. Top professionals work hard and have an immense amount of strength so that their movements can be controlled and repeated accurately. The X factor relates directly to the problem of swinging over the top, which is the most common problem in golf. The reason it is the most common is simple, because it's easy. The torque built up in the core during the backswing is literally pulling your top half back round, and because the bigger, stronger and more commonly used muscles like your abs, obliques, lats and traps are all engaged, the top half will spin round with a greater amount of speed. However, with the core and shoulders rotating so easily, the weaker, less activated bottom half cannot keep up. The glute and gastrocnemius muscles simply cannot fire fast enough or strong enough to power the whole body into the golf ball. This results in the top half literally overtaking the bottom half in the downswing. The right images visualize this as the club head will cut across the ball and generate side spin. This makes the ball go left to right. It also massively restricts the amount of power a person create and will increase the likelihood of back injury due to the amount of strain involved. The psychological base for my training intervention is what is called attentional focus. This is the ability to focus attention on cues in the environment. This can be split into two, external and internal focus. Internal focus is the action or movement causing the effect. In a golfing context, this could be thought of as thinking of hand position at the top of the swing. An external focus, which is one we're going to be looking at today, is the effect caused by the action or movement. In a golfing context, this could be starting the ball at a tree in the distance or over a divot in front of you. Now, from a client's point of view, the difference doesn't impact how effective their learning is. However, they could not be more wrong. Studies by Wolf and colleagues in 1998 found that phrasing a coaching focus externally rather than internally considerably improves learning and retention. More recent research by Wolf in 2001 found that external focus improves the autonomy of movement, in other words, the unconscious thought, which speeds up the learning process. On the other hand, internal focuses have been shown severe lack in performance and skill retention / acquisition when compared to external focuses. This begs the question, why is it almost every club golfer is obsessed with the tiny of internal details like wrist angles, face degree, when research has literally proven that the simpler, the better? Using internal focuses could be good for analysis of bad habits, for example going on the range after a bad round and looking at the habits you might have acquired, and maybe getting them back into a neutral attitude and performance better for the next round. but it is no good for learning or skill acquisition. The impact of this, if a person continues to just internal focus, their performance will peak at an average level. They will struggle to develop further, and then the increased analytical approach of the fine details will fill their mind and ultimately take over, or is other known wise as the constraint action hypothesis, which is what we'll talk about next. So what is the constraint action hypothesis? This is when the person has that many internal mental processes going on, it interferes with already unconscious automatic movements, resulting in even worse performance, and is thought to be one reason why athletes choke at high pressure events. The first major works came from McNevin, Shea and Wolf in 2003. They used a balancing task and found consistent arguments that internal is worse for performance and learning. Some coaches will teach primarily internal. Now, sometimes this is what a client wants, all the angles, all the positions in the world, and probably walk away happy with what they know. However, it is likely the same client will be back after their performance doesn't improve. I argue that this internal information should be coupled with an externally based drill to make the process much less conscious when learning and performing. One major reason coaches should adopt this approach, because research by Wolf and Sue in 2007 found external focuses work with beginner and expert golfers, meaning client's ability won't be an issue. This relates to performance because the overload of very fine information and movements will negatively impact performance. Bell and Hardy 2009 tested golfers chipping and found that their results supported the constraint action hypothesis and that they were actually hindered by internal focuses. Choking was most notably in the golf scene by Jordan Spieth in 2016's Masters final round. He was in contention, only 2 shots in front. On the 12th hole, he was visibly rehearsing his routine, a lot different than usual, very twitchy. 2 minutes later, he put 2 balls in the water. So, instructing using internal focuses is difficult because of the speed of the golf swing. And also it's hard for the coach to understand how the person is feeling or explain what the feeling should be like. So external focuses are much easier. These can be an object in the environment, anything from a tree in a distance to a scuff mark on the floor, or it can be practice tools like alignment sticks. External focuses can be applied to any part of the game. For example, in chipping, you can enhance learning by using clearly marked areas around the target and give them scores. Wolf and Sue in 2007 used 300 beginners and found that this method to be effective in future performance. Even though this was on beginners, it will still perform at the level that this intervention is targeted. Focusing on the hole, or a target behind the hole, while putting has been shown to be a powerful tool of skill acquisition as supported by Shafizadeh, McMurray and Sproul in 2011. And for full shots, anything in the environment is useful. A set of trees in the distance to land between, or a tee peg on the floor to manipulate club path. But how can external focuses help someone from stop swinging over the top in their club path? So the external focus drill I've devised to compensate against the over the top swing is going to use an alignment stick. It will unconsciously force them to swing the club on the desired plane. It involves putting the stick in between them and the target line, and then being instructed to hit the ball to the target, however it has to go around the stick. See pictured, the stick is about 4 feet in front of the ball. This individual is going to be instructed to hit it around the right hand side. This is going to encourage the hand to come down lower, more shallow, and most noticeably, you will see that right elbow tuck in more. Here is going to be a video of someone doing an over the top swing so you can see the difference. Hopefully you'll be able to see how much the right elbow flares and that the ball goes low and left. Okay, so here is a visualization of the over the top swing. See, should be the shaft angle. Then as he comes into the ball, you can see he's already swinging on the wrong line there, and there's the new swing plane. So I'll just mark that one up. And you can visualise there that his shoulders are square with his hips, and it shouldn't be like that there. The hips should be more open than that. If we just play it in slow-mo now, you should be able to see.
See the ball going low and left. Not a good shot. Okay, so with our training aid in place now, he's going to want to be looking to start it on this side of the stick and try and bend it round. Just watch him. Paces. He's looking at it coming nice and shallow and round. Now I'll play it in slow-mo. Now as he takes it back, watch how that right elbow stays tucked in and the hips release. Look, there they are, gone. Nice, on playing with the target line still, and just watch that ball go round the stick and all the way through to the target line.
After years of playing the game, I argue that external focuses should be applied in some form in all coaching sessions. This doesn't have to be restricted to golf, it can be in all different sports, and it definitely can come in all different abilities. My training intervention is good because it uses all characteristics of a good external focus: distance, directional, and descriptive. Research has shown that external focuses work with all abilities, therefore a well thought out training aid will be very beneficial for a coach. This training intervention will improve a golfer's downswing and work towards eradicating the overtop playing. But it has been shown that the training aid is just as important as the psychological concept coupled with it, in this case external focus. Now, I argue that this should be kept in mind with all coaches when developing more interventions for golf or other sports, that their training aids should have a deeper meaning. However, I believe that this should not be let go into the client's knowledge. Keeping the drill simple is also better for their skill acquisition. Why use external focuses as a psychological base for coaching aids? In a review by Wolf in 2013, it was found that in the past 15 years, around 80 studies have been conducted on external and internal focuses, and none have found internal to be advantageous, but all found external to have learning enhancing abilities. Also, Wolf in 2007 found that because external focuses increase the speed of skill acquisition, individuals will proceed through Fitz and Posner's 1978 stages of motor learning, pictured on the right, faster than other individuals and achieve mastery quicker. This is ideal for coaches, as faster positive results can only benefit the client-coach relationship and also their business. External focuses have been used to great effectiveness in the golf swing by Anne and colleagues in 2013 when they gave 24 golfers the instruction to push on the left side of the floor when transferring to the impact from the top of the swing. This resulted in a larger carry distance, demonstrating that a single external focus can improve a whole body coordination pattern. In conclusion, after reading through from some research, internal focuses have been shown to promote choking, whereas external improves speed and effectiveness of learning and performance. My training aid for the over-the-top swing plane has been shown to work after using an external focus. However, the theory of external focuses can be applied to many other problems in golf. Research has been shown external over internal to be a consistent opinion across different ages and abilities, not only in golf, but in other sports like volleyball and athletics. I hope you take on board the information I provided and implicate external focuses into your coaching and practices, and hopefully reap the benefits which I have seen. Thank you very much for listening.